right, so the BMF title is sucking all the air out of the room, and let me tell you what I mean by that. Here's one of the things that happens. I think overall it's a good problem to have. I think you'd rather have this problem, but it still qualifies as a problem. Let's say you have a big star. Go back to Connor or go back to Ronda. I can remember the media always saying things to Dana like, well, what are you going to do if they leave? You don't have any stars. And Dana would kind of, guys, what do you mean? What am I going to do? The show goes on. And he was always kind of annoyed by it. But one of the things that happened is, and don't forget, even at that time frame of the Connor and Ronda, and you guys certainly remember the talk. Some of you might have even been involved in the narrative of, hey, when Connor and Ronda are gone, so's the UFC. No, the stars that are here today, the guys that you want to see fight, guys and gals that are moving the needle forward, they're not brand new. It's not like they weren't fighting back then. They existed. They were there, but it's very hard to get the media and get the attention when you have that megastar in the room. That's what I'm referring to. So the BMF title, in this case, is sucking all the air out of the room. I mean, there's a lot on this thing. Some of it by accident. Some of it by happenstance. Start with the happenstance. George Masvidal, who has deserved a major opportunity in a major spot for years, but there's a lot of guys you could say that about for whatever reason, just didn't get it. 5 seconds later, against an undefeated top prospect in Ben Askren, all anybody wants to do is talk about George Masvidal. Couple of interviews, grow the hair out, put on the Scarface suit, boom. Everybody saw what they need to see. Oh, how have I been missing this guy? Exactly. You've missed him. Masvidal's been here and been kicking ass for years, but you missed him. Okay, great. That's the way it goes. Then you get the resurgence of Nate Diaz. We haven't seen Nate Diaz in 3 years. Now we're about to see him twice in 3 months. That's the happenstance. But then you also take into the intangible. I mean, look, this whole USADA mess and Nate Diaz not showing up. Okay, Nate will show up if he gets an apology. Okay, Nate gets cleared. He gets the apology. This was incredible, even if by accident. But it still steers to the fact that all the headlines are grabbed by the BMF. Then the Rock's now involved in it. You got some fighters that don't like it and a lot that do. A lot of things just happened, but that took all of the attention. Can we agree on that? Okay, because there's a lot happening that night. Kelvin Gastelum and Darren Till are going to go fight. That is an incredible match with incredible questions for many reasons. First off, Gastelum's a great wrestler who does not go out there and choose to wrestle as a primary offense. He likes to box, even more than he likes to kickbox. He likes to straight up Western box. Get in the pocket, start throwing punches, come at you, doesn't mind getting hit. I mean, he's an exciting guy. You have Darren Till, who's got a bit of a wild style. I mean, Darren Till, even when he's found himself in trouble, has found himself in trouble because he danced with the one that brought him. Even in his last contest where he was upset and it was a big surprise, but he was dancing with the one that brought him. And when you fight like that and you've got some awkwardness, yeah, you're going to take a shot here or there. But don't ever mistake, he's a killer on his feet, but he's also unusual on his feet. Now, when you take the awkwardness and effectiveness of Till and you were to compare that to, say, Adesanya, no, he's not as awkward as Adesanya. He's not as effective as Adesanya, and that's what Kelvin just got done with. So in many ways, people are happy to brush off the skills of Till when comparing to Kelvin's last opponent and knowing that Kelvin did just fine, was very competitive. I don't know if you want to do that so fast. I think there's some real questions around Till. I think in Till's high moments, but also in his down moments at 170 pounds, it was largely affected due to the fact that he was at 170 pounds. Till's a middleweight. Till's the height of a middleweight. He's the size of a middleweight. He was hurting himself. He was cannibalizing his body. He was showing up exhausted. He was having to take 2 weeks prior to the fight where he could do just enough training to satisfy the coach and go home because he had no energy. For most guys, this whole weight cutting thing, it's an excuse. For most guys, it is. And it's tiresome and it's lazy. I don't talk about it. But for some athletes, they're in the wrong weight class. Darren Till was in the wrong weight class. Darren Till coming up to 185, he's still going to have to pull some weight off. Not as though he's underweight, but it's exciting and it's different. And the Darren Till that you've already seen and respected and appreciated and took himself all the way to a number one contendership is going to be even better. He's now at the right weight class. So I think he and Kelvin is really going under the radar. I think there's a few fights you could talk about. I believe the most undervalued fight here is Walker versus Anderson. I know that Walker and Anderson are being valued. I get it. I know that they're the main event of the undercard. I get it. But there is a stigma and there is a truth to the main card. There's just a reality to that. And the fact that a potential number one contender for John Jones's title is going to emerge from that contest and that it's on the undercard, I put that as the most undervalued fight. And I realize it's valued. Before any of you tell me it's not valued, I know that it's valued. I'm still calling it undervalued, but I think it speaks to the point, and the only reason I bring it up, this is a mega card. Once in a lifetime, one title, one time, one night only. That's not hype. That's what's about to happen.
His cross is like a freight train. He moves just like a dancer. Before you ask a question, he already knows the answer. He's never lost, he cannot fail. And that's the facts of Uncle Chael. Say okay, great, to far and wide. You're welcome here.